to the November 17th Fantasy Football Show. It's a special segment of the Father, Son, and Holy Sport Weekly Podcast. What's up, T?
What's going on, G-Man? Big matchup between me and you this week in our league, and I'm sure it's getting down to the wire for everyone trying to make the playoffs here.
Hey, man, you see that guy behind me, Saquon, going to take on that Tampa defense Monday night, man.
All right, let's get into it. Let's see what happens. It's going to be a big week.
Hey, we're past the halfway point of the season. Critical time, fantasy managers. We feel you out there. We know you're trying to make the playoffs, get that right seed. We're going to help you, man. There's only two teams on buys this week, the Rams and Denver. So if you have top players like G-Man does on some of those teams, you got to make some moves, all right? 9 games kick off at 1 o'clock on Sunday. So get your stuff done, man, because at 1 o'clock on Sunday, it's going down with 9 games. We got 3 games in the afternoon. Of course, it all starts Thursday night, man, with the Patriots going to Atlanta, favored by 7. Can Mac Jones do it again? Hey, y'all, if you like what you're seeing every week, press the like and subscribe. You can find us wherever you play your podcasts. We're everywhere at Father, Son, and Holy Sport. Let's kick it off with the hot and cold. G-Man is going to start with the hot. Try to find you some players in the middle of the pack that we think you can start and that would be good DFS plays. T-Money is going to give you the cold starters that you better watch out, man, because if you start them, they're going to break your heart. And T-Money is 6-0 on his cold picks the last 2 weeks, man. So
come on.
If T-Money tells you not to start him, you better put him on your bench, man. Hey, let's go to the hot quarterback. Starting with the quarterbacks, I'm going hot. I'm going Joey B, Joey Burrow, projected for 18.6 fantasy points, which is a lot, okay? 18.6. And he has not played that well. But I do feel this is a good matchup for him. This could be a good rebound game for him. The Raiders are 32nd against fantasy quarterbacks since week 6. Patrick Mahomes just played him. Guess how many fantasy points he had? 36. Burrow's projected for 18.6. I think he gets in the mid-20s here. So if you're playing DFS, Joey B is only $6,600 on DraftKings. Put him on your DFS team if you're streaming. All right, do the buys and stuff. Put Joey B in there, man, as your starter, and you can thank G-Man.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. This is just a little hope that this happens from Gary playing playing Joe Burrow on his team versus me. Let's see.
It's going down. There's
all
no
right.
hope.
I see what you're doing here. Well, my cold quarterback here, I'm 6-0.
Don't even say Joey B.
Okay. My cold quarterback is Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts projected for 19.7 versus New Orleans. Going to be a great matchup. I'm actually really intrigued to watch this game. I think it's going to be a good one. New Orleans defense is the 10th best defense in fantasy right now versus the quarterback. And Jalen Hurts is quietly the number 2 quarterback in fantasy football right now. So it's going to be super interesting to see what he can do versus defense that has really been great the past few weeks versus Brady and all these other great quarterbacks. I love New Orleans defense here to shut Jalen Hurts down.
I do too. I like New Orleans defense here. That's a good pick there, man. Let's see what happens.
All right.
Hey, I'm going to the hot running back. Okay, I'm going to ride the guy that was hot. Why not ride the guy that's hot? Okay, I like Daryl Williams from Kansas City.
All right.
He's only projected for 9.9 fantasy points. Come on, man. Last week he rushes for 11 for 43 yards, but it's not that. He caught 9 targets. So I think even if CEH comes back, Williams can still get the catches. Okay, so I think he's going over the 9.9. The matchup's not great. They played Dallas, but hey, I won against Dallas last week. I told you all to take Melvin Gordon. Did you listen to me and take Melvin Gordon? Because he beat up on Dallas. He got 18 fantasy points, and guess what? Daryl's going to do it too. So
all right. Play
Daryl Williams. Start him up, man. Low-end RB2 flex, he can do it.
All right, I see it. That could be interesting. That's going to be a fun game, Dallas Chiefs there. But my cold running back here, and I'm putting a jinx on it for Gary, is Jonathan Taylor. It's Jonathan Taylor.
What? What's he talking about?
17.5 projected versus the Bills here. They're the number 1 defense in fantasy. He scored in 7 straight games with 10 total touchdowns in those 7 straight games. No way he can keep this up. At some point, he is not going to score a touchdown in a game, and it's this one. So Jonathan Taylor, hopefully, especially for myself, does not have a good weekend versus the Bills.
All right, what's the projected points?
17.5, good sir.
I got that on my records. All right, man. I hope you don't win that one because I love you and I love your picks, but man, I'm not going with that one, man. There's no way that's happening. JT, baby. Come on, man. You see my hat, JT? Let's go, bro. Come on, man. Hey, let's go to wide receivers. I'm going with the hot wide receiver, a guy that's been on fire, man. I really like what I see out of Devontae Smith in Philly. Only projected for 12 fantasy points. Come on. Are you serious? He caught 4 of 6 targets for 66 yards and 2 touchdowns last week. He scored 3 touchdowns in the last 2 contests. So he's got a good matchup Sunday versus New Orleans. New Orleans ranks 29th against wide receivers. He's projected for only 12. He had 22 fantasy points each of the last 2 weeks. Why can't he keep it going? Put Devontae on your DFS lineup. He's only $6,400, and there's no doubt he's going over that number, man.
All right, we'll see. I love that game, that matchup, Philly versus New Orleans. My cold receiver, though, Tyreek Hill. All right, he's projected for 21.6 versus the Cowboys. He's playing Trayvon Diggs, one of the best corners in the league, and a solid Cowboys defense. I do think it's going to be a high-scoring game, but Tyreek Hill comes down to earth. Let me give you a quick reason why and see if you notice the pattern in his past 7 games, okay? This is his total points: 47, 14, 22, 12, 27, 7, 27, and now this game. He is a roller coaster, but there is a pattern to this thing. He goes off one week, and the next week he comes back down to earth. He continues that pattern. Cold wide receiver Tyreek Hill.
People still got to start him, though. I mean, if you're giving advice.
Hey, I'm not saying he's not going to score 15 points. I'm just saying he's not going to score 21.
Yes, so temper your expectations.
Yeah.
All right, man, let's go to the injury impacts. Have we had any injuries out there, T-Money, that you think can impact some of our fans? Let's tell them what's on your mind.
Definitely. Damien Harris continues to be out. Rahandre Stevenson, who Gary
Damien Harris, I
loves
just
right
saw
now.
is starting. Damien Harris, I just saw.
Back? Oh man, well that's great news.
Just saw it.
Okay, so I'm sorry we're getting live updates here, so ignore that. So let me skip down to Aaron Jones here. Looks like he's going to be out for a little bit here. That means A.J. Dillon's going to be the workhorse in this offense, so definitely start him in DFS or any sort of fantasy. Trade deadlines are probably past here, but Devontae Adams is going to be even more important to this team, so continue to start him. Antonio Brown's still out. Look for Mike Evans to really be the beneficiary of this one because Godwin seems to still do fine when Antonio's in the lineup. Evans is really the one that's benefiting from Antonio Brown once again being out.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for the tips there, T-Money. Let's go to lemonade from lemons. We're going to make some lemonade out of guys that are less than 50% rostered who we think you can start. Starting off with T-Money. Tell me what you got, man, for your lemonade from Lemons guy.
All right. So I'm going with Tyler Conklin, the tight end for the Vikings. Everyone needs a solid tight end or a solid backup or even a bye week tight end. If you want what you want your tight end to do is be consistent. Consistency is key if you don't have one of those elite tight ends. He's only owned in 40% of leagues, been over 10 in 4 straight games here, and he's averaging 6 targets a game in those past 4 games. All right. I like Tyler Conklin as a solid tight end option to be a consistent guy through the next couple games in the playoffs.
Well, the guy I'm going to talk about for my top lemon from lemonade, lemonade from lemon, is similar to that. Similar numbers to what you just said. And he's the Jets wide receiver, Elijah Moore.
All right.
Only rostered in only 39% of the ESPN leagues. He has double-digit fantasy points 4 weeks in a row. Okay, so if you're looking for someone to pick up, get you double digits. They play the Dolphins this week. The line's only 3 points, so it should be competitive. He's averaging nearly 6 targets per game this year. So I think you can put him in that flex spot. If you got someone on a bye, I think you get you 10 to 15 points. Elijah Moore for the Jets, man, at wide receiver.
We just said the same thing with different names.
Yeah, I know. It was the same similar. I know similar points.
There
Hey,
you go. Go get those guys.
we're giving great advice, man. Let's go. Let's go to our new game that everybody's talking about. We might have to move it to the first position, man. Take or mistake. I pick a player that had a big week last week. T Money tells me whether we should take the bait or if last week was a mistake. We're going to give you 3 here tonight. Let's start with the quarterback position. And let's talk about Mac Jones from New England. Mac passed for 198 yards in week 10, 3 touchdown passes. His second best fantasy game of the year with 20 fantasy points. Can he be a streaming option for fantasy managers this Thursday night facing a weak Atlanta defense? T-Money, is Mac Jones a take or would that be a mistake?
That's a big mistake. Mac Jones is the definition of dink and dunk. He 3 touchdowns was magnificent for him. 191 yards. Wow, what a down game for him,
98.
right? No, that's not a down game for Mac Jones because last week he had 139 yards passing. The week before that, he had 210. That was a historic game for this guy. So let's pump the brakes on Mac Jones right now. He's going to get you 150 yards and 2 touchdowns a game. Score. The offense isn't the reason to win any games. Their defense is. It's a mistake.
Oh my God. I don't know if I agree with that, but let's keep going, man. Let's go to running backs. Let's go to Buffalo. Matt Breida carried the ball for 28 yards and a touchdown, but caught 3 targets for an additional 22 yards and a second touchdown. And the Bills' week 10 win. He gets 18 fantasy points out of a Buffalo running back. Can he be a starter for fantasy managers this Sunday in a matchup against the Colts? T-Money. Is Matt Breida a take or would that be a mistake?
That's a mistake.
Another mistake.
That is a fluke. He only had 3 targets. Congratulations. He's not even the starter. I don't even think he's the go-to backup. I think he's like 3rd string on that team. He had a few good touches, which is awesome. They probably weren't expecting him to score like anyone else. So that's why he scored. So I would not trust that. And I would not start him in any league unless you need like a cheap DFS start.
Oh my God. Okay. Hey, man. Hey, let's go to wide receiver. I'm going to talk about Kendrick Bourne for New England. He had a big week 10, 4 receptions on 4 targets, but 98 yards and a touchdown, 24 fantasy points. Can he keep it going for fantasy managers this Thursday? In a great matchup against the Falcons defense. T-Money, is Kendrick Bourne a take or would that be a mistake?
I mean, if he's projected for like 12, sure, you can take that. But like as an elite option, I would say that's a mistake. He had 4 targets for 100 yards. That's over 50% of Mac Jones's like yards that he threw for. That's not going to continue to happen. Mac Jones never throws the ball downfield, and threw a wildly double covered contested catch to Kendrick Bourne. It was awesome. Great throw, great catch, but that's not going to continue to happen. It's a mistake if you think this guy's going to be an elite option, but not a bad take if you need a decent flex person.
T-Money fired up after his Hawaii trip with Justine and all the boys and girls out there at his great company. Hey, we hope you love the new fantasy football show brought to you by Father, Son, and Holy Sport. Let us know the segment you like best. You know that we love you. If you love the show, press the like and subscribe. Look for us on all the platforms at Father, Son, and Holy Sport. If you're interested in being a sponsor or being a guest on our fantasy show, reach out to us. T-Money, you and me this week, man, head to head. And guess what? I have 2 players on Monday night, and I know you don't like Monday night, so watch out.
All right, bring it on, man. Going to be a big matchup. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Yeah.
Peace.